So I've been keeping my eye on Red Dead Online over the past couple of months. Now, as we all know, Red Dead Online hasn't been in a very good state. It just hasn't received that many updates. It's felt neglected, and there just hasn't been that much to do. But Rockstar has announced that there is a bunch of new content, and since then I have sat down and I've actually played some of this to sort of get a feel for it. They've added poker, they've added a lot of new missions, there's a bunch of new clothing items, and with this coming out of beta and all the stuff that they're adding, is this actually enough to, let's say, rejuvenate the game? To bring back life to it? And from what I've been playing over the past day, this is a step in the right direction. Is it enough? It's kind of more of the same. It gives you a couple hours of stuff to do, and then you start to realize, this is kind of just the same stuff over and over again. But they did add more missions, which is nice. I've played a couple of them, and it's kind of the same thing that most of you guys are probably used to if you're a fan of this game. It's just go here, capture this wagon, return it, go here, kill these bad guys. It's kind of just the same repetitive kind of loop, but it's fun, it's enjoyable. But what I really enjoyed was the amount of clothing that they've added. There are so many clothing items now that you almost never find somebody wearing the same outfit. Everywhere I go, everybody's wearing something different. And then if somebody's wearing the same item of clothing, it's a different color. So every person you come across, there's just a huge variety of different people. So it gives life to the game. It actually feels like everybody's unique. It's so cool when you sit down at a poker table and everybody's completely different and unique from one another. I think that's really cool. Which leads me into the poker. They added poker. That's something that people have been requesting for forever, since the online came out. And it's even been requested for years in Grand Theft Auto Online, which I'm sure was a little tricky for them to add to the game. And they did add some stipulations to it. There is a 5% cut that gets taken from you. The house takes 5%. So it's not a way to just make a crap ton of money. You're not going to get rich quick playing poker. The rounds do take a while, especially since a lot of people don't really understand how to play poker. You'll sit down and everybody just throws in max bet right off the bat over and over and over and over. So depending on who you're playing against, you can just face off against a bunch of idiots, and you can leave the table whenever you want. So you can get a few people come in, bet all their money and leave, and then the table will just refill instantly, which is really nice. But one of the problems that I did have with it is you can't have the party chat active, or it just kicks you out. Now, I understand why they do that, because they don't want people to obviously cheat. If you sit down with your buddies, you could easily just trade money back and forth. Hey, I have a pair of twos. Make sure you bet all your money and you'll win my money. So I understand why that they're going with that direction, but it is kind of annoying, for people that don't want to cheat. For example, I was just talking to my friends in the Xbox party, and I just wanted to sit here and relax and play poker as I talk to them, but that's not an option. You can't do that. And so it was kind of annoying that you can't actually talk to your friends as you're playing poker unless you're in the game playing with them. But I'm glad that they added that to the game, and they listened to player feedback. But getting into the future of the game, now, there was an article by Game Informer where they interviewed some people from Rockstar and talk about the future of this game and future updates and stuff coming this summer, and it actually looks pretty promising. There's a decent amount of stuff that's getting added to the game. And they're adding this feature where you can play these different play styles. This is coming this summer. You can either be a bounty hunter, a trader, or a collector. And it takes sort of these aspects from single player and it applies it to online. So if you just want to be a hunter and you love that about single player, then you can just go out in the wilderness and hunt animals, and you can sell the pelts, and you can just get different outfits and clothing items and stuff through that path. Or if you want to be a bounty hunter, then you can go around and you just hunt bounties, and you'll hunt bad players, and you will get outfits based off of that. Same with a collector. A collector, you can go hunting for treasure and stuff, and you will get different outfits based off of doing that, which is pretty freaking cool. I'm glad that they're adding this role-playing aspect to it, and and players are going to vary from each other even more. Now, one thing that a lot of people want is like them adding ranches and houses and being able to like own your own property like you could in single player. I don't see them adding that. I think they're just going to keep going with this whole camp setup that they have, and the camp continuously moves everywhere on the map, because I just don't understand how it would work. Like, let's say everybody owns a home and they have a farm. If you have like 2 or 3 people that own the same exact farm in the same exact location and they go to the same server, that's where you kind of get into some problems. Well, this game doesn't have buildings set up the same way as Grand Theft Auto Online. Like, you can just walk straight into buildings. So let's say they add homes to the game and people own the same home. They would have to put it behind a loading screen, and then you'd have multiple people walking into the same log cabin. So I just don't see them adding that feature, as awesome as it would be. I think this is their way of trying to make Red Dead Online unique by giving these players this different play style, like the bounty hunter and the trader and the collector. I think this is their own way of making this different from Grand Theft Auto Online. But let's get into some of the parts of this article, and I'll leave the link to the full article down in the description below in case you guys want to read it yourselves. But it says, players will get their first taste of this new direction when Rockstar debuts 3 roles this summer. Enjoy the challenge of wrangling outlaws, become a bounty hunter. Prefer the more primal thrill of tracking animals, turn those valuable pelts into a trading business. Do you tend to lose yourself exploring the open world? Perhaps you can pursue a career as a collector. Players can invest time in multiple roles, either playing solo or cooperatively, and each offers opportunities for honorable and dishonorable actions. The more time you invest in a role, the more unique rewards like weapons, outfits, gadgets you can earn. And then there's a quote from Rockstar saying, "We are trying to take what we think is special about the world and expand the level at which you can interact with that. The goal is to be able to take hunting, collecting, bounty hunting, or whatever much further than we were able to with single player. In some ways, we have to get Red Dead Online back up to the level of immersion that we were able to achieve with single player. The scope for us to take it far beyond what we were able to do there is limitless, and that's really exciting." And then it goes on to say, the further players delve into these roles, the more recognizable and defined they should become to other players. At first glance, you should have a better idea of who you're dealing with. Say you're fishing along the bank of a river and a man wearing a black hat approaches. You know that only a dishonorable bounty hunters can earn that specific hat style, so keeping an eye on him is probably a smart idea. Griefing is an unavoidable element of Red Dead Online right now, but Rockstar also hopes these defined roles encourage players to interact in other ways as well. A bounty hunter may have more pressing matters to deal with than harassing an innocent fisherman. Perhaps he just tips his hat in your direction and rides past to tackle a more immediate task at hand. These roles aren't meant to be a temporary progression path. Rockstar built each of these roles with expansion in mind, whereas you start immediately as a CEO of your illegal business in GTA Online, the road to potential riches is a much longer journey in Red Dead Online. What we're doing with this game is asking, what are the steps involved if it took you months, years, or whatever to get that? What would it be for you to start your business in your camp to becoming a Leviticus Cornwall and owning a railway or a mine? So yeah, basically there are these different roles that they're going to be adding to the game. So taking that, combining it with everything that's pre-existing, like all the different clothing options, all the different horse options, and there's the different saddles, and there's the different weapon upgrades and the different like cosmetics for the weapons. So yeah, I think this has a pretty decent future. It's kind of been a long journey, but this update shows me that they are not leaving this game in the dust, and they are actually listening to feedback, and they're going to make improvements. Now, Grand Theft Auto Online has had support for years now. Like, I thought Red Dead Online was probably going to die off like 4 years ago, but it's still kicking strong. It's still one of the top selling games on every console, and it has millions of players. And they keep adding constant content for Red Dead Online, so maybe this game can make a comeback. But I'm having fun with this newest update. There's some more stuff to do, and I had fun just going around changing my character's outfit. I think the outfits are pretty reasonably priced. Some of them are a couple $100 depending on what they look like. So, like, for example, if you want to wear like a tuxedo, it's obviously going to cost more than something that looks kind of raggy and damaged. But yeah, I'm impressed. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you going to come back to Red Dead Online? Are you excited to the changes that they made? And are you excited for the changes that are going to be coming this summer? Give this video a thumbs up. Check out another video. If you guys want to help support me and the channel, consider donating on Patreon or becoming a channel sponsor. It helps me out a ton, and you will get your name featured at the top of every video, and you will get badges by your name down in the comments below, and emotes for the live streams. And that's going to do it for me, guys, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.